Hey guys, welcome to the Cold Calling Mastery webinar here. I am Cody Houck. You've seen me in my other trainings, the CEO, founder, and trainer here of Unleashed, and I'm happy to bring this to you today. If you follow this structure, you guys, you see the subtitle here, Unlocking Six-Figure Revenue Potential. If you watched the initial workshop of the Six-Figure Revenue Generator, I told you that if you can commit to 2 hours a day, 4 days a week of cold calling, and you're calling on the right account, $2,500 minimum revenue accounts, not hard to get there, and you close a couple of those a month, you can generate 6 figures of revenue cold calling 2 hours a day. I'm not telling you that you're going to work 2 hours a day because that's a crock of bullshit, and I would never feed you bullshit. But this needs to be a foundation and a staple of what you're doing, because it truly can be a foundation of 6 figures of revenue for you to build around moving forward. We're going to dive right in, you guys. Step one, here are the behaviors that you need to exhibit when we're cold calling. One, we need to develop a game plan, and we've got that for you. I'll go ahead and I'll drop that resource down to give you the game plan that I use, how to structure your cold calling and be disciplined with that throughout the week. We're going to block uninterrupted time to actually get our calls done every day. We can say we're going to do it, but we all know that things come up, right? But if you guys took the suggestion that I gave you before, read the book Fanatical Prospecting by Jeb Blunt, we have to protect our golden hours every single day. And 2 hours of that needs to be just designated for outbound activity. My preferred way is cold calling. That's why we're here. And we need to be prepared for these calls. All right. You need to stay organized in your CRM. Every time you make a call and you uncover something new that you can use for your next call, you need to have those notes there. So when you make your next call, you can refer to that and you're building rapport with the gatekeeper if she's not letting you through, or that relationship with the actual decision maker if you are able to get through. So you need to make sure you're staying organized. You've got a game plan, so you're prepared and ready to go when you're doing this. Let's look at some keys to success. All right. One, talk with a smile on your face. People can hear when you talk with a smile. You can tell when somebody's pissed off and uninterested on the other side of the phone. You guys, talk with a smile. Hear how my voice just got different whenever I put a smile on my face? There's a big difference, you guys. Talk with a smile. Number two, you need to be mentally and emotionally tough. If you guys have done cold calling before, you know it is a pain in the ass. You have a lot of rejection. You're going to hear a lot of no's. Nothing you do here is going to be a magic pill that's going to result in 5, 10, 15 appointments every single day. It's not going to happen. Numbers are what they are. This is a 1 to 2% success game. Okay, what our system here is going to do in the scripting and the objections I'm going to teach you is it's going to better position you for when you do get that meeting set with the DM. You're not having some surface level conversation about how can I save you money by going to market and trying to get you quotes and saving you 10% on your insurance this year. It's positioning you as an advisor. Okay, so when you do get those appointments, they're more higher intent and you're able to have a better conversation with the prospect. Okay, establish the goals of getting no. All right, and you'll see that structured throughout the scripting that we're going to go through here. When you give the prospect the opportunity to say no, it makes them feel like they're in control. But what they really don't know is you want them to say no, because them saying no is leading you down the path that you're trying to take them. Again, commit to your daily plan, you guys. You need to be disciplined and you need to get this done every single day, except for Mondays. Again, we don't cold call on Mondays. Monday cold callers are assholes. Track your results, okay? You need to see where you're losing people. Are you not getting through to the DM? That's going to be pretty common, and we've got a plan for that so you can stay in contact with them if the gatekeeper's giving you email addresses, etc. All right? But are you losing them in the opener? Are you losing them in the hook? Are you losing them when you're asking for the appointment? You need to track where your conversations are going off the rails, because then that helps you identify where you may need to role play more, where you may need to put more attention, maybe tweak the script a little bit and play with it. Again, this is proven to work to position you properly, but you may make some minor tweaks that just fit your target market better, or you're a little more comfortable with the way the word track goes. Okay, so you need to be consistent, track your results, identify the weaknesses. You guys detach from the outcome. Again, this is a low probability game. 100%. You can't smell desperate whenever you're going into these calls. Okay. I'm going to give you a couple different objection rebuttals, but we're not some slimy salespeople trying to fight through objections and get appointments at all cost. Okay. If they need our help this year, that's great. If not, thank them for their time, get off the phone, follow up next year. Because if you try to push through, again, you're an asshole, you're a slimy salesperson, they're going to tell you to D&D them, you won't be able to contact them again. And you guys find someone to vent to because you're going to get frustrated. You're going to have a week, 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks that you're not setting an appointment, and it's going to happen. So find someone to vent to make sure that your headspace stays right and that you're able to dive back into it. Okay? So let's dive right in. The structure of our cold call is an introduction and a pressure release. All right? We're going to have a 30-second commercial. We're going to hook them. If they don't go for the hook, they may give us an objection. We'll go through some objections, and then we're going to close for the appointment. Again, I didn't touch on this yet. When we're calling, we're not calling to get a quote or a one-call close. That is not the way this works. We are calling to set appointments to have deeper level conversations. All right. So again, introduction and pressure release, 30-second commercial, hook them, objections if there are any, close for the appointment. So here we go. We're gonna get right to it. We start with our first name and your company name. Using your full name, it triggers, this is a salesperson. All right. If you've ever read the book Pitch Anything, if not, another good book that I recommend, it's called Pitch Anything. It talks about the crocodile brain. It's that initial fight or flight response in our brain that we have in any interaction. When you use your full name, it triggers that crocodile brain to salesperson, danger, in the call, get off the phone as quick as possible. First name disarms that a little bit. But here's how we're going to keep disarming it. Hey, I'm looking for a little bit of help. Can you help me? Great, thank you. This is Cody with Prime Risk. Are you in charge of the insurance program over there? You guys, this is the gatekeeper. Of course, they are not in charge, but we're trying to flatter them a little bit. We're trying to break down that wall, get them to laugh. Okay? You never pitch the gatekeeper anything. You're going to ask if they're in charge of the insurance program. They're going to say no. Ask to be put through to who is. Most of the time, they're going to say no, but they are giving out email addresses like Halloween candy right now. It's been insane for the last year and a half. They will give you an email address, and we'll talk about a follow-up plan for that later down the road. But this is it. Hey, I'm looking for a little bit of help. Can you help me? Why do we use that? It's ingrained in our human nature to help people. It immediately disarms. Yes, I'll help you. I'm here to help. Hey, thank you. This is Cody with Prime Risk. Are you in charge of the insurance program over there? No, I'm not. That's Dan. Hey, can you put me through to Dan, please? I'd really appreciate it. Now we've got Dan on the phone. All right. Hey, Dan, this is Cody over at Prime Risk. I know I'm calling you out of the blue. Feel free to hang up if this isn't relevant, okay? You're giving them that pressure release. You're giving them the option to hang on the call right there, or if they stay on the phone with you, that's your permission to move forward. Okay? Don't be offended if they hang up and say that they don't want to talk. It's going to happen. Keep them on your list. If they didn't tell you to D&D them and do not call back, follow up with them next year. Hey, thanks for taking a second. I'm calling because I've been speaking to a lot of businesses in the construction space, just like you, and they aren't entirely sure if they're leaving money on the table or they're missing out on better coverage. And I really help businesses in the construction space figure that out without causing any issues with their current agent. That's it, you guys. That's it. I'll go through that again so you can hear the tone. Hey, thanks for taking a second. I'm calling because I've been speaking to many businesses in the HVAC space, just like you. They aren't really entirely sure if they're leaving money on the table or missing out on better coverage. So I help businesses in the HVAC space figure that out without causing any issues with their current agent. Now our hook. Would you be opposed to a quick chat about your next renewal to see if there's anything you might want to explore? Would you be opposed? It's a no-oriented question. Again, we want them to say no. They're going to be ingrained to say no. We're leading them down that road. We're giving them perceived power. Okay? It makes it easy for them to say, no, I'm not opposed, which then signals agreement with you. Yeah, let's have this conversation. I didn't change this right here. These should be flipped. If they are opposed, move on. Okay? I will change this. But if they are opposed, you move on. We're not going to try to be these pressure driven salespeople to get an appointment at all costs. If they say, no, I'm not opposed, we're going to take a few seconds and just ask, can you tell me more about what's going on? That would prompt you to want to have a discussion with me. Then discuss some of the pain and impact that they bring up, and then we're going to move to close the appointment. Guys, this is 30 to 60 seconds. We don't have time for the appointment now. You need to make that clear to them. Hey, Dan, I'd love to talk about this with you right now, but I've actually got 40 more calls I got to make today, man. But I do have a suggestion for you. Can we open up our calendars and pick a day and schedule a time that we can discuss this further? Guys, you're required to specify a day and time when they make this suggestion because, again, it puts you in control of the conversation, positions you as the licensed professional that your time is valuable, okay? It's similar to trying to make a doctor's appointment. If they try to walk into their doctor's office and say, I want to see you right now, the doctor's going to tell them, piss off, get lost. I have an appointment 5 weeks from now at 10 a.m. Are you available or not? We need to hold ourselves in that same esteem. Okay, so Dan, hey, I'm looking at my calendar. Are mornings or afternoons better? Mornings, okay, man. I've got Tuesday at 10 or I've got Thursday at 10:45. Which of those two works better for you? Specify those times, you guys, because you have to perceive that you are in high demand and that your time is valuable. Okay? Here's some objections that you might face. One, hey, we've been with the same agent for 20 years. Sounds like you really value that long-term relationship. You guys, this is labeling. If you haven't read Never Split the Difference by Chris Voss, it teaches these types of strategies. Okay? Sounds like you really value that long-term relationship. If it's working well, that's great. I wouldn't want to disrupt a good thing, but are you completely against having a second set of eyes just to confirm everything is dialed in? Again, a no-oriented question. We're trying to get them to say no to that. Are you completely against it? If they say, yeah, okay, great, Dan. Sounds like you're in a good spot, man. If anything comes up in the future, feel free to save my contact info and reach out, and I'll check back with you next year. There we go. If it shows that everything's perfect, that's a win for you, man. If not, you'll see where we can make some adjustments. Would it make sense to at least peek under the hood and get a second set of eyes on it? That's it. Okay. Again, honestly, I'm not sure what your current agent is providing, so I can't say for sure if we would do anything different, right? My role is more about showing you areas that might be overlooked or improved. If it seems everything is perfect, man, that's a win for you. If not, you'll see where you can make some adjustments. So would it make sense to at least peek under the hood? Number 3, we already have an agent and we shop our insurance every year. Hey, I love that you're staying proactive. You're validating them. You're feeding their ego a little bit. But would you be open to a quick check the checker process, kind of like a second opinion, just to ensure your agent isn't missing any avenues? Because sometimes an outside perspective uncovers markets or savings that slip through the cracks. If you're covered, no problem. We'll confirm it and you can stay the course. Guys, we're not putting pressure on them. We're just giving them an option. Number 4, our renewal isn't for a few months. Call me back when it gets closer. Hey, I hear you. Timing's not urgent, and some folks prepare to wait, and that's cool. Others find that a head start can actually help avoid last-minute surprises. If you'd rather not do anything yet, I totally understand, but is there anything stopping us from mapping out what a review could look like so you're not rushing down the road? And lastly, we just switched agents. Hey, I got it. So something prompted that switch. Totally get wanting a fresh start. Did the new agent actually rebuild your coverage from scratch, or did they simply copy what you had before? Because sometimes a fresh set of eyes can find leftover issues. So would it be an outrageous idea to do a quick review just to confirm everything's okay? You guys, that's it. This thing is simple. You practice it. You get smooth with it. You learn your word tracks. Guys, I've been doing this for a couple of years now, you notice everything was pretty smooth. Honestly, I'm trying to read things and teach, and my little bubble's in the way, and um, didn't even really need to read this thing, but my ADHD gets in the way. But you will get smooth with this, and it will be second nature, and you will be able to have these conversations like nothing. And honestly, you guys, after a while, this gets to be fun. You gamify it, man. Make yourself better. See where you can improve. All right. Set rewards for yourself while you're doing it. If you have a team of people doing this, set some rewards for the day. Whoever sets the most appointments today, $25 bonus. Make it a game. You know what? Make it a game of whoever gets the most no's gets a $25 bonus. That's a lot of fun. So real quick, our 30-second commercial is who you are, first name and agency. We're stroking their ego. I work with clients like you. We're using no-oriented questions. We're talking about impact. What problems do you solve? And we close the appointment. That's it. Your competitive advantages. You need to know these guys because this is going to help you when it comes down to the actual appointment. Why do your clients buy your type of product or service? Why do they buy from you specifically? And what would they stand to lose if they didn't buy from you? Guys, that's it. So I want you to think about one thing that you learned during this session, and I want you to make a personal commitment to something. Okay? Write it out because what gets written gets done. Take some time, write this out. You guys, below this workshop right here, the cold call script is there for you. Okay? Go ahead and take a minute and download that so you have it ready to go. It's the script and the objections. All right? Take a minute and download that. Super easy to download. Get to work. Shoot me a message after you've made some calls. Let me know how you're doing. If you got some stumbling blocks that you're hitting, you've also got that link down there to schedule an agency audit with me if you'd like, and a strategy session. We can talk about some problems that you're having while you're doing your cold calling. So you guys take this, go hit it, run. Love you guys. Go kill it.